Hello everybody, doing a bit of a different video today, but we got a tier list of all the doors entities besides April Fool's modes, but we got everything from just the hotel to the rooms to the back door. We got everything. I made this tier list myself. You can search doors entities backdoor update on tier list maker if you want to find this one. It should be public. Pretty sure I'm posted public. And got some music, so it's not just me talking. But we're gonna go ahead and rank every entity. I don't really know what on, just kind of like, I don't know, just how much I like them, I guess. I mean, it's going based off a lot of things, like their mechanics, their jump scares, their designs, a bunch of stuff like that. So, even if some people hate them, these are gonna be my opinions. Some of which may be controversial. 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 So, sorry if you get upset, but these are just my opinions. And I put them in kind of a order that makes sense. You got like the main ones, the rare ones, the Hotel Plus kinda, like shop, Jeff shop, rooms, secret dread, and then backdoor. And if the wiki had everyone, then this should be every entity, and none should be missed. But I think that's all I gotta say. Let's start it up. First, we got Rush. I mean, Rush is pretty scary looking. I mean, he's like smile face kind of looking guy. He's probably the most common in the game, I'd say. And the first that you would probably encounter if when you start playing doors in any game, honestly, probably the first entity you'll encounter. His mechanic, obviously, he goes through, he had to hide in a closet, so pretty simple, but he's kind of meant to be a simple entity, not supposed to be very complicated, but he is pretty cool, and I don't hate him. I do like his jump scare, and he's just he's like probably the face of doors, I'd say, besides maybe Screech. So I think I'm gonna give him an A tier. He's not quite S, but he's really good. I mean, A is really good, just not quite S tier, best of the best. And also, one more thing. I think once we complete this, I think I'll go ahead and say my favorite and least favorite. Now, I have a very clear favorite, which I won't spoil yet, but I'm not sure about my least favorite, so I'm actually gonna have to see who that is. It'll probably be whoever's in D or F tier, but yeah. And I'm try not to go like too easily on them, because I do love all these guys, because I love doors. Try to rank them fairly. But yeah, we got Eyes now up next. Now, Eyes, they actually did give him a jump scare in this latest backdoor update. I haven't actually seen it myself in game, but I've seen it. I think he like pulls you to him. Pretty cool, actually. And it's actually nice that they gave him a jump scare, because him not having one was kind of disappointing, and it definitely took away from his character. I like his light, his like blue light, or purple. It's purple. You know, I mean, it's just like eyes, but it works well for what it's trying to do, I guess I'm trying to say. And his mechanic, obviously, is you're not supposed to look at him. He can be crucified. I guess I should say that for these guys. And he's pretty common, I'd say. I mean, I feel like they buffed his spawn rate, actually, in the backdoor update. I've been seeing him a lot recently without any modifiers. But he's pretty simple, and I like I like him. I like Eyes. I think B tier is a good place. Not as good as Rush, but I think B tier is a good solid tier for him. Now Screech. Ooh. See, Screech, I feel like he's the universally hated one. I mean, the whole thing is that everyone hates Screech. And I mean, he's pretty annoying. I mean, Sometimes he spawns a lot. He was pretty annoying in this April Fool's Draco Bloxers thing. But we're not. I'm counting just the main game, not April Fool's. But the one, my one redeeming quality about him, besides I guess his design's pretty cool, but my one redeeming quality is his jump scare because is really good. Like his bite is such a good jump scare, and I guarantee everyone who played this game blind and didn't know to look at him got really scared when he first bit them. So I think for that, Screech is gonna get a B. I mean, like obviously he's not as good as Rush, and I personally don't really mind him that much. Like even with like Think Faster, I really don't think he's that big of a deal. But I think his jump scare alone, gotta give him a B tier here. Now Dupe. Dupe is tough, Dupe is one of the newer ones. I mean, he was out in Hotel Plus, which I guess was a while ago now, but he wasn't there when the game started. Now Dupe hides behind a fake door, tries to catch people off guard. His jump scare is very good too. I like it. I like the noise. I like his jump scare. I don't know, he's kind of tough. I feel like B is a good spot for him. He's just kind of similar to these guys. I forgot to mention Screech's mechanic is pretty good. Dupe's mechanic is really cool, I mean, I couldn't say anything about this because I didn't play before Hotel Plus, but back in the original game, you didn't have to worry about that. But now, I mean, you have to. I mean, if you're playing with a modifier, you have to pay attention to the door number, because he doesn't make that growling when you have modifiers on. Even so, pay attention to the number could be helpful, just so you don't have to go up to the doors and listen, save a bit of time. But I like Dupe. I mean, you can't really see him in this picture. You kind of see his eye there, but it's basically just a smile. He's basically just a smiler from like backrooms and stuff, but I like him. I think B is a good spot for him. Now, you might not know, you might just think this is a closet, but this is actually Hyde, who is the guy who kicks you out of closets if you stay in them too long. Now Hyde is kind of tricky, because he doesn't have a design, he's just a closet. His jump scare, I wouldn't really even say it's a jump scare, it's just like effects and pushing you out. But like he is like an essential mechanic in the game. Like he's the only reason that makes like ambush even like difficult, or like even rush. So I think I can't put him down here because he's just so essential to the game. So I'm gonna have to give him C tier. Because, other than being an essential game mechanic, I don't really think he's got much going on for him. Like, I mean, I know that he has an eye, like, white eye in this picture, but I don't think he actually has a design in the game, so I think C is a good spot. Now, I know his head's cut off, but this is Seek. Now, I don't know if you guys know, but Seek is my absolute goat. I love Seek. I love his chase, I love his music, I love his design, I love his jump scare, I just love everything about him, and he's just an easy S tier for me. I love Seek so much. He's just, I mean, I'm trying not to spoil it, but he's my favorite entity in the game. I mean, I don't know if that's obvious from what I've said about him, but I just love Seek so much. I love him. I don't know I mean, I have his plush, I have his figure. I love Fancy Seek too. I love his suit. I love his car. He's just the best. I mean, he's just the best. I don't know how you could not like Seek. He's just the best. Now Figure. Head's a little cut off there, but Figure is another good one. Figure only appears twice. 50 and 100. Seek also only appears twice. Well, I mean, he technically could appear once, but he's supposed to appear twice. Figure appears twice, probably the two most important rooms in the game. 50 and 100, and he's kind of like the main guy. I mean, he's the main antagonist, I guess you could say. And he's kind of an important entity. I mean, and I like his. I mean, he's very different. Like, he's an actual thing that walks around, unlike a lot of these guys who are just faces. He walks around, he's blind, so you have to crouch. His jump scare is very good. He like kind of like picks you up and bites you. I think I'm gonna give figure S tier because you know the two special boss entities can't get killed by the crucifix. They can get stopped but not killed, and they're just these guys are both cool. I don't love figure as much as Seek, but figure definitely up there for me. He's very cool. Now ambush, ambush I like. I like the challenge of ambush, although it's really not that hard. But I like him. I like his sounds. I like his jump scare. He's just kind of Rush, but he goes back and forth. And I think he's kind of similar to Rush, where he's an A tier. I mean, I like his design. Like, definitely different from Rush. A lot more glitchy. And yeah, I already said his jump scare was cool. He's kind of rare, but they've kind of made it so you'll either see ambush or our next entity here, Halt, at least once per run on like around 80. So you'll probably see him if you play the game a little bit. So I wouldn't really say he's that rare, but he's an uncommon entity. Like, you won't appear as much as these guys. I mean, these two obviously are guaranteed. And Rush, I mean, Rush, there's no way you can get through a game without him. But yeah, Ambush, I mean, a little bit on the rare side, but definitely not the rarest. Now, Halt. Now, this is tricky, because Halt, you know, nobody really likes Halt. His whole thing is just kind of annoying. But it is cool. I mean, it's definitely a unique mechanic. There's nothing else like his mechanic in the game. His design's alright. I mean, I do like his glowy eyes. His jump scare's alright as well. But he is kind of annoying. But I don't know. I said I wouldn't be too easy on these guys. So I guess I'll give him D. No, I'll give him C. I'll give him C. I really don't hate Hall that much to give him D, and definitely not F. But yeah, I mean, there's no way I can't place him below Hyde. Yeah, okay, I'll give Hall a C. Now we got Timothy. Now Timothy, you know, besides scaring the heck out of you, Timothy doesn't do anything. But, you know, Timothy really, like, one of the only entities that can still scare you after you still played. I mean, he's still scared me after I've played the game so much. So I gotta give him an A tier. I mean, his jump scare, that's pretty much all I'm rating it off, because that's his whole mechanic is his jump scare. And I mean, his design's, I mean, it's just a spider, but I mean, these renders that the wiki has he looks very good. Now, Glitch. This might be unpopular opinion, but I really like Glitch. He's just so cool to me. Like, his jump scare sounds are so cool. I like the idea of like this humanoid purple glitchy figure who is not even canon. I mean, he can do it. They've said he can do whatever he wants. And I'm gonna put him S tier because I just love Glitch. I just love him. He's so cool. I love his jump scare. That's what really does it for me. His jump scare is so cool. And I just love it. And you know, he actually is helpful because he teleports you to the next room if room generations messes up. So, you know, he actually is kind of helpful. What the heck? Okay, I don't know what that was. Next we got Jack. Probably the scariest entity in the game. Because you're never expecting, because he's so rare. He's 1 in 2,000 chance to appear behind a door. And I know his design got cut off a little bit, but he is really scary. Like, I when I play solo sometimes, I do, like, fear him when I'm playing. Like, I fear him that he's gonna show up and scare the heck out of me. Because he's very loud, he's very scary, and but his blood runes are really cool. I think I gotta give him B. I can't put him A because he's just so rare. You never really see him. But he is cool. I mean, like, the blood runes are very weird and cool. And he's very scary. Along with Timothy, he's probably the only one that can scare me. So I think B tier is a good spot. Now, you might not even know who this is. I mean, the picture got cut off a little bit. But this is actually Shadow. Now, Shadow, all he does is like Jack, he's 1 in 2,000 chance to appear behind a door. And he just jump scares you. But it's definitely not as scary as Jack. I feel like I don't get scared by Shadow when he appears. You know, Shadow's more of like, oh, that's really cool that I got this rare thing. As well, Jack is like, oh, that was really scary. But, you know, I can't put him in F tier because, you know, he's cool to find. He's kind of mysterious, just Shadow randomly appears. So I'm gonna go D, because, you know, other than appearing and being rare, he doesn't really do anything. I mean, his design is just a humanoid that goes from gradient black to, like, kind of light gray to the bottom. So I think D's a good place. Now, you also might not know who this is because it's just a black square, but this is Void. Now, Void teleports you back with your partners if you fall behind, but he does damage you. He's not very nice. And I think I'm gonna go D because, you know, he doesn't really do anything besides that. He can't kill you, so that's the thing. Apparently, you actually can crucify him, but you just get teleported without the damage. I saw that somewhere. Might have been on the wiki, but I don't know. But apparently that's a thing. But, like, he doesn't have a design. His jump scare is alright, if you can even call it a jump scare. But I think D is a good spot, because, I mean, he's an essential mechanic, I guess. Other than that, it's pretty bad. Now, Window, I think, is gonna be an F tier, because I personally, I don't even know if you can actually see him, if that's real or not. But I've never seen him in a real game. He's the only entity I've never seen in a real game. Obviously, he's in the lobby at all times. You can see him. And that's why he's gonna go F tier, because he doesn't do anything. It's not like a jump scare. And I don't know what the chance of him spawning in the real game is, but like I said, I've never ever seen him in the real game. You know, I mean, I don't really, like, look out the windows, obviously, but I feel like I would see him if he was there. I know he's there until lightning strikes, so he usually disappears quickly. At least that's what I've seen. Again, I don't know if he can actually spawn him, and I would assume that the wiki isn't lying. But yeah, I think Windows, or Sally, I guess his real name is, he's gonna go in F tier because doesn't really do anything, and it's just kind of boring. No jump scare, and he's just a smile. So I think F is good for him. Now, ooh, El Goblino. I do have El Goblino's plush, and I really like El Goblino. I like his design. His voice lines are very nice. He gives lore to the game. He's the only one who actually talks to you. And I think he's gonna go S tier because he's just so chill, so awesome. I mean, I feel like everybody loves El Goblino. And like I said, he adds a lot of lore to the game. He gives background to a lot of things. And he's just a cool character. And I think the same goes with Jeff. I mean, he's just the nicest guy ever. He sells you stuff, very useful things. I like his design. I like how he, like, happily blinks at you when you tip him. Um, yeah, I mean, I don't really have much to say about Jeff other than he's just a cool guy. And now we got Bob. Now I would rate Bob S tier just for like the memes, cause like he's like the higher power or whatever. But I gotta rate him D. I mean, he literally doesn't do anything. Like I'm almost putting him F, but you know he's just kind of there. I feel like he's kind of like just a troll because everyone thinks he does something, but he doesn't. So I won't put him F, but I gotta put him D because he just doesn't do anything. You might be thinking, well, that's unfair. Winnow doesn't do anything either. But you know, at least you see him, and at least you have an option to do something with him, and you know, maybe he could appear in the future and do something. Like he has potential. I don't think Window is gonna do anything big in the future. But yeah, I think Bob gets a good D. Now we got Snare. Now Snare, you might be thinking, well, it's just Pancake, as the game calls it, and that's pretty much it, you know. But I think I'm gonna give it C because you know his jump scare is pretty good. It actually is kind of scary if you're not expecting it. You know it stabs you in the foot. He can't kill you. It brings you down to 1 health, but he cannot kill you. So he's like Timothy, but I don't think he's as good as Timothy. And his design is just a pancake, as the game calls it. So I think C tier is pretty good for him. Now, guiding lights are G basically. I mean, he is the OG helpful entity. He's the one who helps you throughout the entire game, lights you the way, tells you what you died to, and tells you how to avoid them. And you know, he's just, or she. And I heard a lot of things that it's a girl, but they're just awesome. I love guiding light, and I like the thing that there's like a presence, like spirit there, helping you throughout the hotel. I think that's really cool. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'll give him an S, cause you know he's helpful like that. I like him. I like guiding light. Now A60, I really like A60. I mean, part of which may be because red's my favorite color, but I really like A60. I mean, I like how he looks. I like his sound. But I would give him S tier. I would give him S tier, but he doesn't have a jump scare, so I gotta give him A. Like that, the fact that he doesn't have a jump scare just kind of bumps him down a spot. Like if he had a jump scare, he would definitely be S tier because he is so cool. I love how he looks. I think he looks definitely better than the original Runes one, although he doesn't change forms. But I guess that's why he's not called Multi-Monster. But yeah, I think A is good for, well, A60, and that works out. Okay, now here's where I become controversial. I really like A90. I know, that might be crazy, because everybody hates A90. But I really like him, you know, I'm really good at, like, dodging his attacks, so I really don't find him annoying. And I'm gonna be real, his jump scare might just be my favorite in this game. It is so cool, and I love the sound that it makes, and I like his design. So I honestly might give A90 an S tier, because I really like A90. I think he's cool. And like I said, he doesn't really bother me that much as he does with other people. So yeah, I think you can hate on me if you want, but I'm gonna give him S tier. Now, A120. See, A120 is a bit of an issue with me because he is probably the whole reason let me rephrase that. He probably adds like 20 to 30 minutes to the time it takes to beat A1000 because he just takes so long to go by. That's my only issue with him, is he takes so long, and as someone who's beaten A1000 2 times, he takes so long. He's not really like difficult, but he just takes so long. I mean, I like his design, I like his squiggly face. He doesn't have a jump scare, so I'm gonna have to go B here. I just think he's alright, because, you know, I'm trying to hold my grudges away from him taking so long, but I think he's just alright. Now you might not know who this is. You're like, was this the A00 door? But no, this is Curious Light, which people might not even know exists because you wouldn't really. Nothing tells you about him. Now Curious Light is really interesting because he's like kind of a mystery. He doesn't really help you. He tells you what you died to, but not how to avoid them. Like he's not very helpful to you, and he obviously knows how to beat them, but he's just not telling you. But he also keeps telling you to keep going. So he's very mysterious and doesn't really he's just a very mysterious person. And I kind of like that about him. I think he's very interesting. I like the yellow light. I like how there's kind of like two different presences. But I don't. I mean, he is pretty cool, but he's not as cool as these. So I'll go B tier for him. Oof. Now we got a little bit of a spicy one here. The Easter egg entity Dread. Now, if you didn't see my video where I got Dread for my 100th death, and you want to see Dread's jump scare, I suggest you to go check that out. And please excuse my coughing in that video. I was like dying of sickness when I recorded that. But Dread, I really actually enjoyed the Easter egg, and I think he's a very cool Easter egg. So I think I'm gonna go B tier here, because like his jump scare was cool. Or well, actually, let me say the build up to it was very cool. The only reason I wouldn't give it an A is because it just takes so long to experience it. I mean, it was like 50 minutes of just waiting in the lobby. I mean, obviously I was like watching YouTube, but I mean, just that having to be there so I don't like idle timeout. That's still my only problem with him. His design's very cool. It's very weird and kind of creepy. But yeah, I mean, the thing holding him back from A is he just takes way too long. I mean, he takes like half the time to get to A1000. That's pretty crazy. But other than that, very cool. Now we got Blitz. We got Blitz. Why I said Rush is because he's very similar to Rush. And this is the green version, not the pink version. But I'm including both of them because they're the same thing. You can go die to both of them. They'll say the same thing. Now Blitz appears in the back door, obviously. And he's pretty cool. I mean, I'd put him like the same tier as Rush because they're basically the same, except he comes back as the pink version. And I actually really like that. I think he's really cool. I like as there's an alternate version of Rush down on the different subfloor in the back door. I think that's pretty cool. And all my points about Rush kind of stand with him, except for like the first entity thing and face of doors. Besides that, I think he's kind of my same opinions about Rush. Now this is kind of cut off, but this is the Lookman. These are all backdoor entities, by the way. This is the Lookman. Very similar to Eyes. I think he's got a pretty creepy design. I know you can't see his actual eyes, but I think he's got a pretty creepy design. And I like him. I mean, he's kind of annoying, but I think that's the point. I think I'm gonna go B tier here. I mean, he's got a weird texture on his body. He's very similar to Shadow, but I like him. Now Haste, I got some opinions on this. I found I have like a newfound love for this guy that just started today. I love him. I love his jump scare. The build up is so good. Like I cannot express how cool he is. Like, oh my god, I love him. I love Haste. He's just perfect. I don't even know what to say. Like, he's just so cool. I might actually link this in the description, but I saw this video. It was like Haste VHS, which is very cool. And it's basically just his jumps here, the VHS filter. But he's just so cool. I love his jump scare. The build up. The build up is really the thing. And his mechanic with the timer, I think that's really cool. I love him. Now this, I don't even know if you would call this an entity, but I just included it anyway. This is the Vacuum. which is the thing that sucks you out in the back door if you walk in it. And I mean, I think I'm just gonna go C here, because I mean, there's nothing really besides that. That's kind of just all he does. But I don't think he's as bad as these. Like, I mean, he's not bad, but like, just kind of simple. I think it was just kind of a simple little troll thing they added in to the back door. But yeah, I think that's all I gotta say about Vacuum, really. And that concludes our tier list. So here's my tier list for Doors entities as of the backdoor update, besides any April Fools, obviously. So now we'll go through. Obviously, my favorite entity is Seek. I love him a lot. And I guess my least favorite is Window, because he's the only F tier. Which, I mean, I think I'm good with this. I think I'm good with this tier list. I'm pretty happy about it. So, if you watched this video, leave your thoughts down in the comments about my tier list. Leave your own opinions. Tell me what you think about my opinions and what you think is the best and worst entity indoors. And I'd actually like to see some other people's opinions, because I don't really know what the community is thinking. I don't know if people feel the same way or people feel different. I mean, I know A90 would definitely be an F tier for a lot of people. I know that's a very controversial pick, but I'd love to hear some thoughts. So if you like, leave a comment, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.